Welcome back to What Arty Noobs with General Disturbance, and this is an M44, the Tier 6 American SPG, and we're on the defending spawn of Sand River. Now, the commander of this SPG is Diving Duck, and he sent his replay in after seeing our YouTube channel. And battle has commenced. See an M41 there? Well, interesting fact for you, something you may not know about the M44. It was actually exported to the United Kingdom. A number of these were actually, 58 of M44s were actually given to the British Army, and 52 of them were actually deployed to the British Army of the Rhine, the BAOR, the British forces in use in Germany. And it was given the name the Cardinal. Along with the British policy of giving all SPGs a clerical name. So if you ever hear the term the Cardinal SPG, they're actually talking about an M44. Now, no enemy spotted. Ah, right, now we've got somebody, an T-34-85. Okay, and he's stationary. That's a very silly thing to do in front of an M44. Oh, but he got away with that one. The shell went over the top and landed behind him, but nobody seems to be firing at that T-34. That's very unusual for any tank to come up and be stationary at that ridgeline. Very silly thing to do. There's an STRV M42 doing the same, and he's just got a kill whilst from when he did that off a Panzer IV-H, but he's now inviting an M44 shell right to the side. Oh, he pulled back just at the right moment. Almost reloaded, ready to go again. Now he's pushing through E0, and there's a Panzer T25 with him. Oh, he's just ram killed a 3-4. Line him up, round out. Oh, kill shot! 209 hit points. That was a really good shot. It had suffered some damage already, that STRV, so wasn't entirely down to Diving Duck, but certainly was a reasonable kill. And he fires a round in there. Unfortunately, the T-34 went unspotted just before he fired. We can see it has suffered some damage, not a lot, but some. Okay, he's lining it up for another shot. Almost ready, and now he's ready. Rounds out. Direct hit this time, 206 hit points just below the turret, and he was taken out immediately afterwards, so he picks up all the stun assist off that one. It's very useful having that Aslains mod, which shows you where the shell actually hit on the vehicle, because it gives you an idea of what sort of damage they've actually taken. And that, I would think, probably it damaged the turret, stopped the turret from turning. Round out on the M6, direct hit again, 207 hit points. That was useful. He's reloading, and he's picked up some stun assist, and it looks like the M6 has been taken out. The STRV M42 got him. Unfortunately, he just lost the KV2. He went a little too far forward than a heavy should in an assault battle. Really shouldn't advance much beyond the riverbed until the enemy has been depleted enough. So he actually paid the price. Okay, that 12-ton is moving too quickly to get a shot into at this moment. Very difficult to estimate where they will go, because ultimately they will keep changing direction. Now that 60G FT is in a very dangerous position, and that's a 68 hit point splash. The shell landed on the ridgeline next to him, but there's an enemy heavy, a VK3001H. Very weak armor on these tanks. That's the one thing, they're paper thin. And that one landed next to him, but did 40 hit points of damage and put some stun onto him as well, and he's picked up some stun assist. Okay, there's a Panzer III-4 hiding over the edge. Oh, he's going to drop in. Yep, he has. There's a T-67 in there as well. Now, they're both going to be in the same place at the same time. No, he's not fired. Oh. Well, he didn't see where they went, but I suspect that they did go through the same spot. Yes, there they are. There's one of them anyway. He's popped out the other side. Now he's going in and out, trying to do some spotting as he goes. And there's that 3001 again. Now, rounds out. Good strike. 237, 4 critical hits. That's really damaged his ability to fight. And he's been killed. He was taken out by the M41. But that T67, because he didn't fire at him, he's now managed to work his way out of the riverbed, and he's having a go at the M41 at the other end of the map. I don't think that M41 is going to be able to do anything because... Oh, good strike there! He managed to get a shell right into the side, tracked him and slewed him around. I'm not sure if the M41 will reload in time though, but I think the M6 that's going up might be able to put a shell into that T67. Yes, he has. Good, that saved Diving Duck from having to relocate. Now, the enemy's got the advantage. It's 3 versus 6 at the moment. 2 to 1. But that 12 ton's been taken out by the box tank. And so long as the box tank stays in that river valley, should be okay. But Diving Duck's actually in a rather central position, which is good. Because the enemy seems to have conquered most of the east side of the map now. Okay, we're looking at that Panzer T25. He's sitting over there taking pot shots, so Diving Duck can put a shell into him. And he does! 253 hit points, that's very useful. It's exchanging fire, but they lost the box tank. And there's the 60G FT that he fired at earlier. Oh, he's turned himself over! Oh my god, look at that! He's on his side! Easy kill for Diving Duck. Oh, he gets a shell into him, but he doesn't kill him. But the enemy is now down to just 4 tanks versus their 2. And I think that 60G is still there. He won't be able to move. He's on his side. What a thing to do, to flip yourself over. And that's a kill shot. So I think that's changed the course of the battle, because now it's 2 versus 3, and 2 of the enemy are Arty. Mind you, they are an M44, and I think the other one is also an it's an SU-122. Well, that's certainly going to change things, because although the enemy does have an M44, and then, as we know, the M44 are quite seriously mobile, they have got the problem of they don't have much in the way of hitting power that they can deploy to actually get to the cap, because that M6 is going to be able to interrupt any cap action. They've got a Panzer IVH, but a Panzer IVH is no match for an M44 who can lob a shell into him as soon as he's been spotted. Now, Diving Duck is taking up this position on the east side of the map. The M6 is protecting his north, and if the enemy does make their way to the cap, M6 will be able to spot them, and Diving Duck will be able to do something about it. He's already showing a win rate of 2836 on this battle so far, which shows that he's been working extremely hard. And of course, we both know he's got 2 kills. Right, I suspect the enemy will be making their way to the cap right now. It's the only logical course they can take. That was the 2 minutes hooter, or 2 minute siren, should say. There's nobody in the cap yet. I think I'd be tempted to fire a few rounds in to destroy the buildings in the cap. That means there's nothing for them to hide behind, and that would not therefore cause any problem for the M6 in trying to spot them. Got plenty of shells, 23 rounds, and he's got a reload time of 17.2 seconds, which is pretty good, but I think with consumables, premium consumables, you can reduce that to as much as 16 seconds. Of course, the faster the fire rate of the M44, the more damage you can do in any particular battle. Now, he's 257 yards away from his intended target there. That's the 1 minute siren. I don't think the enemy's got enough time. Oh, they started capping, and there's the enemy M44. Okay, and yes, as I thought, he'd go behind the building. That's exactly what he's doing, and M6 is firing on him. So I think it's a good idea now for Diving Duck to put a few shells in there, knock those buildings down as quickly as possible. No, he's going to fire at that M44 as is. Okay, there's the SU-122. There's no time for the enemy. They've run out of time. there's the SU-122 been taken out by M6. Now, can Diving Duck get the M44? I think so. Oh, no, doesn't need to, because M6 managed to get him as well. There's only one enemy left, and it's the Panzer IV-H. And Diving Duck fires, but he's been seen. But now the Panzer IV-H is exchanging fire with the M6. But he hasn't got any time left, because that's the end of the battle. The clock's run out. And Diving Duck does his victory dance. Okay, let's have a look at the end of battle stats. Well, it was a second-class tanker for Diving Duck in the M44. He also picked up a bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. He got 10 in that battle. And he picked up a high caliber. He dealt the most damage in the battle to the enemy, at least 20% of the enemy hit points. And we can see that his total win rate, including all the shells that were unsighted, and there was one on the T-34-85, was actually 45.82, which is very high, super unicum level. And we can see the hits that he actually made over here. If we go to team score, we can see that he's got the highest amount of damage, 1,718 hit points. He's also got the second highest number of kills. The M6 finishing off those two Arty in the cap gave him the highest score there with 4. But he came joint second with 2, the same as the box tank and the KV2. When it came to base XP, well, he got the highest score there, 863 base experience points. If we look at the detail report, he fired 15 rounds, got 8 direct hits, 8 penetration, 2 splash damage. Damage of 1,718 hit points, of which 1,220 were at more than 300 meters. He spotted one enemy vehicle. I think that was one of the SPGs in the cap. He hit 7 of the enemy, but destroyed 2 of them. And he did damage assistance, or stun assistance rather, of 746 hit points on 8 stuns. On a standard account, he earned 26,594 credits. And after ammunition resupply, he was still left with 19,019 credits. He received 1 bond, and he earned 863 base experience points, and there was no multipliers, so that's all he took home. But it was a good battle, and it was very effective. I think I would have been tempted to knock those buildings down in the cap, give them absolutely no place they could hide in the cap, and it would have made it very much easier for Diving Duck to then fire on the M44 and the SU-122 the moment they appeared. But that's just my personal preference. But it was effective. You did manage to get some really good hits, and you did the job, and you've won the battle for your team. So if you enjoyed this replay, please give it a like and do subscribe to our channel. We really need as many subscriptions as we can get, please. And hopefully it'll be your video I'll be featuring in our next video. Thank you.